One quiet morning, the world woke up to something strange. The usual hum of the city, the buzz of technology, and the constant flow of information suddenly stopped. No more radio broadcasts. No more communication from satellites. No more messages. Everything went silent. It was as if the entire planet had stopped speaking. For the aliens who'd been watching Earth for centuries, this was an alarming sign. They had been studying humanity from afar, waiting for the right moment to strike. They'd always seen humans as weak, primitive creatures, no match for the advanced technology of alien civilizations. But now, they were worried. The silence from Earth was unlike anything they had ever expected. The aliens, who had been secretly observing Earth's every move, began to panic. "What happened to them?" one of the alien commanders asked, staring at the empty communication screens. They had never seen Earth go quiet before. The silence felt unnatural. The entire planet seemed to be holding its breath. For days, the aliens tried to make contact, sending signals and messages into space, hoping for a response. But nothing came back. Earth was silent. The aliens thought it was a sign that humanity had given up, that humans were finally defeated or too weak to resist. They believed it was time to strike. With their ships ready and their weapons aimed, the alien fleet began its journey toward Earth. The aliens had prepared for an easy invasion. They were certain that the human race had no way to defend itself. They thought that the silence meant Earth was no longer a threat. But they were wrong. What the aliens didn't know was that Earth's silence was not a sign of surrender. It was part of a carefully planned strategy. For years, humans had been secretly preparing for an alien invasion, working behind the scenes to develop technology that the aliens could never imagine. When the aliens arrived at Earth's atmosphere, they expected to see a planet in chaos, a world that had given up. Instead, they found themselves completely cut off from their communication networks. Their ships, which had once been able to send messages across the galaxy in an instant, now could not reach each other. It was as if all the communication systems in space had been blocked. "Something's wrong," the alien commander muttered, looking around at the empty space around them. They tried to send messages to their fleet, but there was nothing. No response. ASC, the alien fleet moved closer to Earth. They found themselves unable to track the movements of their enemies. They could not understand why they couldn't find any signs of human activity. The silence only grew deeper, and it felt like the universe itself was closing in on them. What the aliens did not realize was that the humans had created a technology so powerful that it could block any signals and messages, not just from Earth, but from anywhere in the galaxy. This technology, hidden in plain sight, was the key to humanity's survival. On the surface, Earth looked peaceful. The cities were quiet. The streets were empty. But beneath this calm, the human race was preparing for war. The silence was a trap. A carefully set stage for the aliens to walk into. The moment the alien ships landed, they found the quiet was not an empty one. Humans had been watching them the entire time. Earth was not defenseless. Far from it. As soon as the aliens made their move, the hidden human forces sprang into action. The alien fleet was immediately surrounded by human-made drones and advanced defense systems that they could not even begin to understand. The humans had developed weapons far beyond what the aliens had seen before. Earth's silence had been the signal for humanity to activate their secret weapons. The moment the aliens stepped foot on Earth, they were already trapped. Fighters, hidden in the sky, zoomed toward the alien ships with lightning speed. Ground forces, equipped with advanced armor and weapons, stormed out of their hidden bases, ready to take on the invaders. The aliens, who had thought they would easily conquer Earth, were now fighting a battle they had no chance of winning. "What's happening?" the alien commander shouted, unable to comprehend the chaos around him. This wasn't supposed to happen. Human soldiers, trained for years and armed with technology far beyond anything the aliens had ever seen, fought back with determination. The aliens were taken by surprise, and every move they made seemed to play into humanity's hand. Eye in the skies, human pilots flew their jets with precision, targeting the alien ships with perfect accuracy. On the ground, the soldiers moved with confidence, taking down alien forces one by one. Every alien weapon seemed useless against the advanced human defense systems that had been quietly waiting for this moment. The aliens, once so sure of their victory, now found themselves retreating. They had never expected such a powerful defense. They had underestimated humanity. ASA, the last of the alien ships retreated. The silence that had once seemed so mysterious now made sense. Earth had been preparing. The humans had known all along that they were being watched, and they had been waiting for the right moment to strike back. The alien fleet, once full of confidence, now limped away, defeated by the very race they had thought was weak and powerless. Earth had proven that silence was not a sign of weakness. It was the sign of a hidden power, a power that no one could have imagined. And as the alien ships disappeared into the distance, humanity stood victorious, ready to face whatever came next. The silent attack had worked. The Earth was safe. For now, Earth was quiet. For days, no one could explain why. There were no radio signals, no broadcasts, no military movements. The bustling cities, once filled with noise and life, were eerily still. No one knew what had happened, but it felt like the whole world was holding its breath. The silence was not just a strange coincidence. It was a carefully planned signal. The alien forces, who had been watching Earth for centuries, saw the silence as an opportunity. They had always thought of humanity as weak and easy to conquer. Humans were primitive, they believed, lacking the technology to defend themselves against the mighty alien fleets. The silence, to them, was a sign that Earth had given up. The aliens assumed humans had finally realized they were no match for the superior forces of the galaxy. For the first time in a long while, the alien commanders felt confident. It was time. Their fleets were ready, and they knew this would be an easy victory. The humans, they thought, were helpless, isolated in their silence. But what the aliens didn't know was that the quiet was not a sign of surrender. It was the calm before the storm. In the shadow of the silence, humanity had been preparing. For years, secret underground facilities and hidden laboratories had been working non-stop to build weapons and technology that no one could imagine. The quiet wasn't fear, it was a deliberate move to hide their true power. The aliens were about to make a fatal mistake, underestimating the humans who had been quietly getting stronger. As the alien fleet made its way toward Earth, they couldn't help but feel a little too confident. They had studied the humans for centuries. They had seen their wars, their struggles, and their failures. They knew everything about Earth's weaknesses. Or so they thought. The moment the alien ships entered Earth's atmosphere, they were met with something they never expected. Communication signals that had once been easily accessible to them were now completely blocked. Their advanced technology could no longer communicate with their homeworlds or with each other. Alien commanders began to panic, trying to understand why their signals weren't reaching their fleets. One alien officer turned to his superior. "What's happening? Why can't we connect with the other ships?" "This wasn't part of the plan." "Stay calm," the commander ordered. "The humans must have some kind of technology we haven't seen before. But we will not be stopped." Yet, as the fleet moved closer to Earth, it became more and more obvious that they were in danger. Every time they tried to launch their weapons, the systems malfunctioned. It felt as though an invisible force was holding them back. The silence grew louder in their minds. There was something they weren't seeing. What they didn't realize was that Earth had been quietly working on a defense system so powerful that it blocked all alien communications and weapons. The moment the alien ships entered Earth's orbit, humanity's secret defense network came to life. Hidden deep within Earth's oceans, beneath mountains, and in remote areas of the world, human forces had been waiting for this day. They had been anticipating the alien invasion for years, using the silence to prepare for a full-scale defense. Earth's military, once considered primitive, now had weapons far beyond anything the aliens had ever seen. The humans had perfected the technology to jam every alien signal, to turn off their communications, and to disable their weapons. When the alien fleet arrived, they found themselves completely isolated and unable to act. The humans were ready, and they knew exactly what to do. In the skies above Earth, fighter jets, advanced drones, and stealth bombers took to the air. The humans had equipped their pilots with cutting-edge technology that allowed them to track and target the alien ships with unmatched precision. The alien forces, unable to communicate with each other, were picked off one by one. Down on the ground, human soldiers prepared to engage the enemy. With armor and weapons stronger than anything the aliens had, they stormed forward with purpose. The aliens, once so sure of their victory, now faced a well-coordinated and unstoppable force. The quiet that had once seemed so terrifying to the aliens now made sense. It was part of the plan. It was the setup for the attack. One alien commander, who had once mocked the idea of humans ever being a threat, stared in disbelief as his forces were destroyed. How could they have done this? He asked in confusion. How did they prepare so quickly? The truth was, they hadn't prepared quickly. They had been planning for this day for years, quietly and secretly. The aliens had always thought of humanity as small, insignificant creatures. But they didn't understand the power of patience, the power of humans waiting for the right moment. As the alien fleet tried to regroup, the humans continued their assault. The alien invaders had underestimated the humans, and now they were paying the price. One by one, the alien ships were destroyed. The tide of the battle turned in favor of Earth. In the final moments of the battle, as the last alien ships turned to flee, the humans watched from below, victorious. They had done the impossible. They had defended their world, not through brute force, but with strategy, patience, and technology the aliens had never expected. The silence that had once made the aliens fear the worst now seemed like a warning. The quiet had been the perfect cover for a plan that was years in the making. The storm had come, and humanity had proven it was ready to fight. As the last alien ship disappeared into the distance, Earth was left standing strong, its silence now a symbol of power, not weakness. The quiet had been the calm before the storm, and the storm had come with a roar. Earth had always been a target of alien interest. For centuries, various alien species had watched from a distance, studying humanity. They saw humans as little more than a primitive species, unworthy of attention but too dangerous to be left unchecked. The aliens knew that one day they would have to take action. Earth would eventually be theirs. And so, they waited until the moment was right. But what the aliens didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for them all along. And the quiet before the storm was exactly what Earth needed to carry out their final plan. It began with a message. The world didn't notice at first. All around the globe, humans went about their business as usual. But somewhere deep within Earth's most secret military installations, engineers and scientists had been working on something huge. Over the years, they had developed technology so powerful that it could send out a signal strong enough to disable any alien communication anywhere in the galaxy. This technology was called the last message. The moment the aliens began to prepare for their invasion, Earth was ready. At the stroke of midnight, the last message was sent. The signal spread across the cosmos, not just across Earth, but all the way into the reaches of alien space. It was a message, not to any particular alien species, but to every alien race that had ever watched Earth. It was a warning. As the signal rippled across space, alien ships that had been waiting for orders to attack suddenly found themselves frozen in place. Communications stopped. The fleets could no longer talk to each other. They were cut off from the rest of the galaxy. And no one could understand why. The aliens believed they had nothing to fear. They had underestimated humanity. They thought Earth was defenseless, that humans could never hope to match the power of their fleets. But now, something had changed. Something was different. And they didn't know what it was. On the alien motherships, the commanders watched in disbelief as their ships were rendered useless. "What's happening?" one commander shouted. "Why can't we communicate with the fleet? What is this signal?" The truth was, the signal they were receiving wasn't just a jamming device. It was a message, a final warning from Earth. "Humanity is not what you think it is," the message said, "and we are no longer the weak species you once believed us to be. You will not conquer us. You will not invade us. Earth is not your prize. It is our home." The aliens were shocked. They had never expected anything like this. For years, they had observed Earth from afar, dismissing humanity as insignificant. But the signal they received was something they couldn't ignore. The aliens began to realize that Earth wasn't just a planet of primitive creatures, it was a world filled with power, hidden in plain sight. For the first time, the aliens began to fear humanity. The last message was not just a warning, it was the beginning of the end for their plans. Earth had prepared for this moment, and they weren't going to let the aliens take what was theirs. The fleets that had once prepared to invade Earth now found themselves stranded in space, unable to communicate, unable to launch their attack. Earth's message had done more than just disrupt their systems. It had shown the aliens that humanity was not the weak target they had imagined. The tables had turned. On the ground, humanity had already started to fight back. While the alien fleets were still reeling from the effects of the message, Earth's armies had mobilized. They had been waiting for this moment. The silent years of preparation had led to this, the moment when the last message turned the tide in their favor. Human soldiers, armed with new powerful weapons, moved into position. The alien forces, still unable to communicate with each other, found themselves in disarray. They couldn't coordinate their attacks. They couldn't use their advanced technology. Earth's soldiers were on the move, and they were ready for war. The first alien dropships landed on Earth's surface, expecting to face weak, unorganized resistance. But they were met with a human force unlike anything they had ever seen. The soldiers fought with precision, using advanced technology that had been kept secret for years. The aliens, who thought they could easily conquer Earth, were quickly overwhelmed. The message, the signal, had worked. The aliens were no longer in control. They were outmatched and outsmarted. The battle raged on. Alien commanders tried to regroup, but it was too late. They couldn't send reinforcements. They couldn't call for backup. The humans had taken full advantage of their communication block, striking when the aliens were at their weakest. One by one, the alien ships fell, each one a symbol of humanity's unexpected strength. Earth had proved that it was not weak. It was not a planet to be taken. It was a force to be reckoned with. The last message had changed everything. The alien invasion, which had once seemed inevitable, was now a failed dream. Earth had fought back, and humanity had won. The last of the alien forces retreated. The humans watched from below, their hearts filled with victory. They had done what no one thought possible. They had defeated the aliens with nothing more than a message, a final warning that had changed the course of history. And as Earth's silence returned, it wasn't out of fear. It was out of strength. Humanity had made its mark on the universe, and the aliens now knew that Earth would never be an easy target again. The day Earth stood still began like any other. People woke up, went to work, and went about their daily lives. The world was as busy as always, but something strange was about to happen. No one knew it yet, but that morning, the entire planet was about to become the center of an incredible event. It all started with a signal. The sky above Earth suddenly became still, as if the universe itself had paused. Communications from space radio waves, satellites, even space probes ceased. For a brief moment, no one could hear anything from the stars. It was as if the entire planet was cut off from the rest of the galaxy. On Earth, the leaders of every nation were confused. Scientists rushed to their stations, trying to understand what was happening. Military forces around the world scrambled to find out why their communications with space had stopped. Nothing made sense. For days, Earth's governments worked tirelessly to figure out the cause. But every attempt to reach out into space failed. The silence was deafening. The Earth's people began to feel the weight of it. People started to wonder, was this the calm before a storm? Had something happened to the alien forces that had been watching Earth for so long? Was it the sign of an invasion? The truth was much simpler and much more dangerous than anyone realized. Out in space, the aliens had been watching Earth for years, waiting for the perfect time to invade. They had studied the human race, knowing that Earth's technology and defense systems were far behind their own. The aliens thought it would be easy to conquer Earth. They thought humans were weak. But they made one huge mistake. They underestimated humanity's will to survive. The aliens had always seen Earth as a prize, a planet to be taken. They had silently observed, believing humans would never be able to stand up to their power. They had watched humans fight wars, struggle with their problems, and fall short. But the aliens never realized that Earth had been preparing for this day in secret. They never knew that humanity had been developing technology for years that would completely change the way they saw the world. The silence that filled the Earth was not because humans were afraid. It was because they were ready. They had spent decades secretly building a force that would protect them. They had developed a powerful weapon that, for the first time, could block alien communications and technology. Earth was quiet, not because it was defeated, but because humanity was in control. When the aliens made their move, thinking Earth was defenseless, they were met with a shocking surprise. As their ships entered Earth's atmosphere, they found themselves unable to communicate with each other. Their weapons didn't work. Their technology malfunctioned. The humans had set up a system that disabled every alien ship that tried to invade. The aliens, who had thought Earth would be easy to conquer, were suddenly trapped. They couldn't send messages to their fleets. They couldn't communicate with each other. The humans had turned their own planet into a fortress, and the aliens had no idea how to fight it. But Earth was not finished yet. The alien ships continued to hover above Earth, the planet's military forces prepared to strike. The quiet that had filled the world for days was finally broken. Fighter jets, once grounded, roared into the skies. Military drones, built with technology so advanced that the aliens didn't even know it existed, began to attack. Human soldiers, equipped with armor and weapons beyond anything the aliens had ever seen, moved swiftly on the ground. The humans fought back with everything they had. The alien fleet, unable to communicate or coordinate, was thrown into chaos. One by one, the alien ships were taken down. The humans, who had once been seen as weak and primitive, were now fighting with precision and strength. "What's happening?" one of the alien commanders shouted in disbelief. "Why can't we contact the fleet? This was supposed to be easy." The aliens had no answers. They couldn't understand how Earth, this small, insignificant planet, could have prepared so well. They had thought that humans were no match for them, but now they realized they were wrong. The aliens, once confident and sure of their victory, were now retreating. The humans didn't stop. They kept pushing forward, overwhelming the alien forces with every move. The alien ships tried to regroup, but they were outnumbered and outclassed by Earth's advanced technology. With every alien ship that fell from the sky, humanity's strength became clearer. The day Earth stood still was not a day of fear, it was a day of action. As the last alien ships turned to flee, Earth's defenders stood victorious. The aliens had come to conquer, but they had underestimated Earth. They had underestimated humanity's will to fight for its survival. The quiet that had filled the planet just days before now seemed like a distant memory. Earth had proven that silence wasn't weakness, it was strategy. It was the calm before the storm, and humanity had used that storm to drive back the invaders. With the alien fleet defeated and retreating into the void, the people of Earth stood together, knowing that they had just made history. Earth was no longer a helpless, vulnerable planet. It was a powerful force to be reckoned with. The day Earth stood still was the day humanity showed the universe that it was not a species to be underestimated. The quiet had been a signal to the aliens, a signal they had ignored, thinking it was just another sign of weakness. But in the end, the quiet had been the beginning of humanity's triumph.